Yo people, it's CFC Chat TV here. And before we start the video, I just want to talk about the news that came out early this morning. The heartbreaking news about Diogo Jota and his younger brother, Andre Silva. If you haven't heard, they passed away in a car incident in Spain. And I just want to say my thoughts are with his wife, his kids, his parents, and all his friends and family. And it just goes to show, how short life is. You should cherish every single moment you have with your family. Don't take it for granted. He just recently got married to his wife, so I just can't imagine, the pain that she must be going through, and especially his parents as well. To lose both your kids just like that, it just shows how fragile life is. And my message for everyone out there, just make the most out of every moment you have with your people, and make sure they know that they're loved. And yeah, let's get into the video. Now we're gonna be doing a tier list on the Chelsea squad in 2025, going into the next season. Before we get into it, I already arranged some of the players, so I already took out the youth team out of this, minus the few players who've been promoted to the first team. Also the players who already have left the club. Kepa is signed for Arsenal. Bettinelli has gone to City. I think Bergshon and Beach have left on free transfers. Bashir Humphries has gone to Burnley. Cassidy, he left in January to Torino. Sancho went. We didn't re-sign Sancho from his loan, so he's back at United. Harvey Vale is at QPR, and I'm pretty sure David Washington. I'm not sure where he is actually, but I know he's not at Chelsea anymore. Now, let's start. Philip Jorgensen, I'd probably put him on the verge. I do think he's inevitably going to be our second choice keeper. I don't think he's been too impressive. I remember that period where Robert Sanchez was benched, and I don't think Jorgensen played well enough to almost solidify his position as the number one. But I do think he's okay backup, so I'd probably keep him as on the verge. Mike Penders, I've heard a lot about him. He's almost the new Courtois. That's what he's been compared to. He's obviously Belgian. He's very tall. I think he's like around 6'7", and I've heard a lot of good things about him. Now, whether he's going to get minutes at Chelsea, he probably won't. So I'd probably loan him out and just see how he develops. But that's one to watch. I think that's a player to watch. And yeah, I'll just see how he performs out on loan. Potentially to Strasbourg, if not just maybe a championship club, Premier League club. We'll see. Now, with Georgia Petrovic, I think he's a keep. He went to loan at the start of last season at Strasbourg, and he was one of the best performing keepers in the French league. He won player of the season at Strasbourg over the likes of Alexis Santos. He was one of the best midfielders in that league. Also, there was a lot of concerns prior to that season about his ball playing abilities, and I do think he's improved considerably in that aspect of the game. Now, he wasn't taken to the Club World Cup squad, so there's big concerns on whether he's in Chelsea's plans. And recently, there's been rumours about Sunderland attempted to sign him for a transfer fee of 25 million. And if you ask me about realistically these days, I say no. I do think Sanchez will be the number one next season. I don't feel like they're willing to budge on that. But if it's up to me, I'd keep him. Yeah, have him as the number one. If we're not going to sign a keeper like Michael Maignan. Robert Sanchez. I've put him myself. He's too inconsistent. Even though in the past 4 months he's been alright. He saved us a couple of points, and he's been less mistake prone. You just never know. he still has that tendency where he just throws the ball directly to the opposition attackers. Also, something he gets beaten at the near post too frequently. Sometimes he's like a weak hand when he's saving shots, but yeah, I feel like we should just cash in on Sanchez. He's just too inconsistent, and I don't feel like that really gives the confidence to the centre backs in front of him on having a great keeper. He's just gotta be that last line of defence. Now Gabriel Solina, I actually don't know much about him. I don't think he's played a single minute in a Chelsea shirt, so I'd probably sell him. He's not get any minutes over the likes of these three anyway, so yeah, they do need for like a fifth choice keeper. Now Josh Achampong, I'd put him a keep. In this Club World Cup, he's really shown his ability to play in that almost hybrid right centre back role. His ball kind of ability is elite. He's so comfortable on the ball, and the way he just carries the ball into the open space instead of doing that passing across the centre halves, it kind of reminds you of like a Wesley Fofana, where Fofana is very good at driving into the open space, creating a bit of chaos, and just advancing the ball up the pitch in a much quicker manner. So yeah, Josh, I feel like he's almost pushing for that number 2 spot, number 2 right back position behind behind Reece James. But Augusto has been taken down the pecking order a little bit, but we'll get into that later. Now, Tosin, again, easy keep. Tosin, I feel like he's probably our transfer of the season, which is funny considering he's came on a free transfer. Yeah, Tosin's been top. I mean, I can't really name a bad Tosin performance. He's good in the air, physical, provides that goal scoring threat from set pieces that we lack. And he's a leader. He's a leader in the dressing room. You know, he's the oldest. I think he's the oldest player at the age of 28. And Tosin, he's just consistent. The only concern is if you go play a super high line, he might get exposed against the fast attackers. Also, whenever he plays, he has to be the one in that central zone, forcing like a Levi Cole to that left centre back role, where Levi Cole has to defend the wider areas because Tosin can't do that. So that's the only concerns. But yeah, again, Tosin, he's a good squad option. Can start a couple of games. Yeah, I don't mind him. Aaron Anselmino, I mean, I'll probably loan him. I think he just came just to do some training sessions at Chelsea, so I don't think he's going to get any minutes this season. So he'll probably be sent out on loan, which I don't mind, but hopefully he impresses that out on loan. Yeah, let's see how that goes. Now Beno Badiashile, I've put him on the verge. Now I do feel like this season he's been a bit underrated, especially in the Conference League games as well. I feel like people like to lump him up with Disasi, when I do feel like he's a level above Disasi. I mean, he's a lot more comfortable defending wide zones. His passing, he's probably one of the better, if not the best passer in our centre backs. You know, his long ball is outrageous, and I just feel like you almost have that resurgence, similar to like a Marco Correa, at Chelsea. And yeah, he's going to be a backup, but yeah, he's a good squad option. Now Trevor Chalobah, I'd put him a keep. I mean, the way the club treated him and came back calling for him in January was disgusting. Big respect to Chalobah to keeping it professional, just getting the business done. And when he came back, he had some really good performances, a lot of stand-up performances from him. And yeah, I'll keep him. Whether we keep him or not, in reality, that's another question in itself. But yeah, Chalobah's he's been top for us. Now, Ben Chilwell is an easy sell. I feel like injuries have just halted him, and I don't feel like he has that technical quality in terms of playing in that Maresca system where fullbacks are asked a lot to do, But maybe, since we're transitioning, Maresca's evolving his tactics and is more inclined to playing natural fullbacks. Sometimes, maybe you could see a Chilwell return, but I don't think that's going to happen. And his wages are outrageous for a backup option anyway, so yeah, I feel that's an easy sell. Now, Levi Cole. Now, I feel he's the first untouchable. Now, in the beginning of the season, I do feel like a lot of people had concerns about whether Cole will be able to take that jump up. But I do feel like he has proven the doubters wrong. He's almost... We've seen a lot of coming of age performances from him. Being that leader in the back line. Obviously, with him being that constant within the back line. Also, I feel like he's become a lot more comfortable in wider areas. He's much more inclined to being more physical in those one-on-one duels against the strikers. Because we do see him a lot of the time man marking the number 9s. And Cole was really showing his worth in these past few months, and we've seen a lot of quotes from him recently about mentality and the winning mentality of Chelsea, and I do feel Cole can be that future captain at Chelsea. And next one is Marco Correa, again, second untouchable. This guy, man, he's so consistent. Whether he's total invert, playing that centre role, or even play as a regular fullback, I don't think I can name a Marco Correa bad performance. He's so comfortable whether defending or forward. We've seen him a lot of the time in that a lot of the time last season. We saw him in that half space role where he crashed the box a lot, and I think he's the leading goal scorer out of defenders in the 24-25 season. Also, he does so well against top right wingers such as Mo Salah, Amad Diallo, Bukayo Saka. He's a nuisance to play against. He's that player that you hate when you play against, but you love when he's in a team. And I'm so glad we're on the good side of that entanglement. Now, the Zassi is so. I do feel like the Zassi he can't really play in this possession-based system. Also, again, he's just too error prone, and he's more of a defender that thrives playing a lot deeper when you're sitting back in those lower mid-table teams where they're much more counter-attacking. So, yeah, the Zassi, I don't see him. He's likely to go get sold anyway. Now, Wesley Fofana. Now, before his injury, I do think he was our best centre back. So I'd probably put him in the keep section. I just want to see him stay fit. He's so good. His recovery pace is outrageous, and he's just a great asset to have. It was a matter of fitness, not about quality. So if you can keep him fit, there's no debate. Now, the next player is Malo Gusto. I'd put him on the verge. I do feel like Gusto, even when he plays in its natural position, not inverting into midfield, I do feel like the simple stuff, he's just getting wrong. You've seen a Club World Cup. Again, he's just always at the crime scene, at the back post. And it's just, I don't know, it's just going all wrong for Gusto. I do feel like a Champong is probably, if it's up to me, I'd probably have a Champong as an option behind Reece James. Gusto, he hasn't really been impressive in the past year, so he does need to step up his game, considering that Champong is just there banging on the door. Reece James, again, our captain. So good. I mean, we're a different team with these changes on the pitch. He can play. the only concern I do have, aside from injuries, which hasn't been an issue for a long time, the concern I do have is whether Maresca stops playing in midfield. He's not a midfielder. He's one of the best right backs in the world. So he's playing a right back. And yeah, I mean, we saw his goal against Benfica. I mean, what a free kick. I mean, that's his third free kick this season. Honestly, just his technique is a joke. And I do feel like we had to get him into those final third areas where you can see his attacking quality and his just ability on the ball. Sometimes I do think he's a bit limited as that right centre back, but again, we have to protect these chains, so I do understand in that aspect. Now, Isha Samuel Smith, I'll put him in keep. Now we don't have a left backup option for Marco Correa, so I'd have Samuel Smith. Yeah, I mean he can play. He's that perfect left centre back, left centre back hybrid. He's tall, he's strong, fast. Yeah, I do feel like we'll see a lot more of him this next season, considering unless we buy left back in the market, which I don't think will happen. But yeah, I feel like we'll see a lot more of him in the next season. Now, Mamadou Sarr. Again, this is a bit more of an unknown for me. I haven't really seen much of Mamadou Sarr, so I'll probably put him in keep. Hopefully, obviously going for Strasbourg, so hopefully he's able to show his qualities. I'm not sure if he's a left centre back or right centre back, but yeah, I'm not too sure about him, so I'll just keep him in keep. But again, I don't feel like he'll have enough game time to really show himself, considering he's behind 4 players in that back line. So yeah, just keep him keep for now. Renato Vega, I mean, I'd love to keep him. He's a great player, but he's not going to start a reliever call in the centre back position. So I mean, I think this is the ideal time to sell him. Obviously coming off that loan at Juventus and playing for Portugal in the Nations League, this is probably where his market value is at its peak. And we didn't sign for that much. I think we signed for 15 million. So yeah, this is a perfect time just to cash in. And yeah, I mean, he's a good player, but just wrong time. Caleb Wiley, I'd probably put him in sell. Probably want to see him play for Chelsea. Matisse Amugu, alone. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really justify the signing. I'm pretty confused why. I mean, considering we have a abundance of quality midfielders, and he didn't really play when he came anyway, so it'll be a weird January signing. Yeah, but it's what Chelsea do nowadays anyway, so yeah, that's expected. Moises Caicedo, another untouchable. What a player this guy is. Probably at this current moment on form in the past year. He's probably the best player in the Chelsea team. Wow, this guy, you know what surprised me even more of how good he is on the ball. Like, we all know how good he is at breaking up play, stopping transitions, just being destroying the middle of the park. But on the ball, wow, this guy's a joke. I mean, those able to switch the play, break the lines, and he even has a eye for goal whenever he pushes up into the edge of the box. I mean, we see every goal he scores is like a banger. So hopefully we see a bit more of his goal scoring bag. But I feel like it's tactical. I mean, he usually just plays as a holding midfielder, doesn't really move from that zone. But yeah, I'd love to see him in a bit more advanced areas, because I feel like you could get more out of Caicedo. Carney Chukwuemeka, for me, he's honestly, he's so good. He's actually so talented, but injuries just halted him. And when he had, it was after the West Ham game where he got injured, and then obviously Palmer blew up the way he did. It was just inevitable that Carney would struggle to break in that Chelsea team. And I do feel like Maresca could have kept him in the squad, utilised him last season over the likes of Nkunku and João Felix. Because I do feel like Chukwuemeka's a better footballer than those two. But yeah, I mean, I do feel like it's inevitable for him to go Dortmund, considering we just signed Jay Barno Kittens. And obviously, it's not a swap deal directly, but there's obviously going to be transfers. There's going to be a transfer fee for Chukwuemeka. But yeah, I wish him the best at Dortmund, or wherever he goes, because he's so good. And he will have a blow up. He will blow up and become a great player. Now, Darius Ugu, keep. He came from Las Palmas as that Caicedo backup. I'm not sure how good he is on the ball, but I do know he has a strike on him. Also, defensively, he's similar to Caicedo. Obviously not on the level of Caicedo, but you can see the traits are similar in the sense how they win the ball back, how they just go around their defensive duties. So I'd probably keep them. And again, obviously Caicedo played 38 games last season. So if you want to play to replicate what he does, Isugu's probably the closest. So yeah, João Felix, Sell. That transfer never really made sense to me. Obviously, I think he's just more of a Jorge Mendes with Chelsea. You know, he always gets it done with Chelsea, and yeah. Also, I forgot, it was the Conor Gallagher deal. Obviously, Conor Gallagher with the Atleti, and we didn't get Sam Amodian, so they sent João Felix all the way. So that probably explains why João Felix came to Chelsea. And he never really found his feet. Mostly playing in the Conference League Cup minutes. And whenever he did play in the Premier League, it was almost against like the lower teams. So he went out to loan to AC Milan in January. And he never really found his feet. And I feel like João Felix, he really struggles to set himself, settle down at a club. Maybe he's one of the players who just never find the right club. But yeah, it's just a shame because when he was breaking out of I think of Benfica, it was one of the hottest talents in the world. And it's a shame how it turned out, just moving from club to club, from Atleti to Barcelona, back to Atleti to Chelsea, to AC Milan to Chelsea. Yeah, it's just a shame. But again, with the likes of Cole Palmer, you're never really going to get ahead of him in the pecking order. Enzo Fernandez, probably I'll put him untouchable. Again, obviously, there's a lot of debate whether his best position is him playing deeper in that number 6 position as a deep line and playmaker, just taking play. I do feel like Maresca has gotten the best out of him in that advanced 8 role, where he's able to box crash and play make in advanced areas. But I do feel like Enzo on the ball, when it comes to moving around with it, he's a lot less agile following his hernia injury. So yeah, him in that number 8 role, it just makes it a lot easier. And his numbers have been outrageous this season. I think he's on 16 assists and something like 8 goals. So yeah, he's just been an output machine. And him and Caicedo is almost that midfield 2 that you always go see game in, game out. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, I'd put him on the verge. Now, that's not to slight his performances, because I do feel like he's been actually quite impressive relative to the expectations that we had with him coming in from Leicester in the Championship. Conference League, he's been great. In the Premier League, coming off the bench, giving that energy, especially in that running, he was very good. Now, why I put him in on the verge? Again, it was just so stacked out in that midfield position. does Drewsbury really provide anything that we need? No. And does he take minutes from the likes of other players again? Does he take the minutes away from other players? Yes, so I'll keep it on the verge. But yeah, I was a bit skeptical like Drewsbury transfer, but he's been great since he's come. So yeah, I've been on the verge. Amari Killiman, I get a put him. So I don't think he's played for Chelsea. I'm not sure. I might need to double check that. But yeah, let me check if he's played for Chelsea. Yeah, he's played for under 21s. So let me just move him to the under 21s, a youth team. Yeah, yeah, obviously, yeah, he's in a youth team. Romeo Lavia, I'd put him in keep. Probably, yeah. By the way, this is not an order, by the way, but yeah, I'd put him in keep. He's so quality when he plays. I mean, he almost reminds me of a Busquets. How he's so comfortable on the ball. His role is just to make the jobs of the players in front of him easier. And he does. I feel like he gets the best out of Cole Palmer. Threading those balls through where the other midfielders might not be able to make that pass. And on the half turn, wow, he's a joke. I mean, there's no player better than him. Maybe Ryan Gravenberch, but yeah, no one else is on that level on the half turn. Christopher Nkunku. No, it's a sell, but I do feel for Nkunku because he's almost been forced out of position. Now I do feel like this Club World Cup he's been pretty good this Club World Cup. Maybe he's trying to feed into the transfer. What do you call it? Transfer. He wants to make himself more appealing for a transfer. Well, that's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, but he's been pretty good in the Club World Cup whenever he's playing at number 10. Obviously got a big goal against Benfica. But yeah, I mean, throughout the whole course of last season, yeah, I don't think he really wanted to play for Chelsea anyway. And he was about to leave in January to a club. I think it was Bayern. But yeah, Nkunku, it's a shame. I had a lot of expectations, but it's never really met it. Cole Palmer, untouchable, no question. Hopefully he can obviously break that non-penalty goal scoring drought. But I'm not down on his performances. Benfica's quality. I just do feel like a lot of times we have to get the best out of Palmer, and not always sacrificing for the rest of the team. But yeah, there's no doubt on his quality. You can just see when you watch Cole Palmer play how good he is. Andre Santos, keep. Again, Maresca did say something about him being that Enzo backup. Now, I'm not down on his ability to play that role, but I do feel like he's probably better as a number 6. Obviously, he was leading a lot of the defensive metrics for like under 21s in the whole top 5 leagues, and he does have that knack of that box scoring ability similar to Enzo Fernandez at Strasbourg that we've seen already. But yeah, I would like to see him in the 6 and potentially against Palmeiras, considering that Caicedo's out and there's news that Romeo Lavia might be unavailable. So I'd love to see him. Now Leslie Ogochukwu, again, it's a shame. He's one of the players that were forced out. I would have liked to see him this season, and considering there was that period where we didn't have that much midfield depth anyway, and he could have helped out in that January period. But yeah, I think that the clubs like to sell him anyway. Same with Amado Broya. Obviously, he was injured and as loan at Everton, and he never really got to showcase himself. But yeah, there's a player there, and yeah, he's probably going to get sold. Dacho Fofana, again, he's probably going to get sold. I think he was called back from his loan following an injury, so that kind of set him back. But yeah, I mean, with the signing of the likes of Liam Delap, obviously Nicholas Jackson being here, also João Pedro getting signed, I don't see any way of like Emmanuel Boy or Dutch Everton breaking almost a week at a time. Now Liam Delap, again, just keep. I'm looking forward to see Delap, and also I like how him and Jackson almost provide a new dynamic. Obviously, them being two different type of profiles. Delap almost wants to get into the play, get into the play along the back line, with Jackson likes to drop deeper, link up play, almost be that facilitator. Also, having that competition with Jackson, I feel like can get the best out of the both of them. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see how Liam Delap plays. Esteval, up in the keep. Now with Esteval, I do feel like the title of obviously being the best talent in Brazil after Neymar, obviously his nickname being Messinho, there's gonna be a lot of pressure, and I don't feel like he's obviously got. I don't think he's gonna meet up to that expectation, considering he's playing in the Premier League as well, and his first season at 18 in the Premier League. We don't really see much teenage wingers thrive in the Premier League. And I feel like the fan base might be a bit impatient with him, but I do feel like we have to give him almost a bit of leniency. And with the wing options we have now, I don't feel like he will be forced into that position where he is the guy week in, week out. He can obviously learn off the wingers we have and just improve. And obviously the physicality aspect, there's gonna be an adjustment period anyway. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to see Esteval. Now Tyreek George. Again, with the signing of Gittins and João Pedro, it's likely George will be going on loan. I wouldn't mind keeping George in the squad, but for his own development, probably best for him to go on loan. Play a whole season, getting consistent minutes. And George is so talented. I mean, well, he's such a good player, and he was for large portions of the last season in that late running where we didn't have a striker. George was crucial. I mean, he was playing out of position. It's a 90-year-old playing striker who's a winger. I mean, no one talks about how hard that is. I mean, yeah, we just have to play him more on the wing, but George has been top. I think he's gotten like over 10 goals and assists this season. 10 GNA. Might need to double check that, but yeah, George has been underrated this season. Whether he stays or not, I'm looking forward to see how well he does. I'm just checking his GNA. Yeah, he's got 8 GNA, which is impressive for the limited minutes he had. Now, who's the next player? Margui again. He's likely to go on loan. There's interest from Kieran McKenna at Ipswich, and my perspective on Gui isn't. I don't feel like I'm not been too impressed. I mean, obviously he's a 5 million transfer from Barcelona, but Barcelona aren't really usually willing to sell their academy products. I feel that says a lot in that perspective. That a La Masia player got sold just for 5 million as well. And yeah, I don't feel like Gui really has. Obviously, young player, he can develop, he can improve, but as of right now, I don't really see it. And maybe a loan deal is probably the best for him. Now, the next player is Nicholas Jackson. A lot of people have mixed opinions on him. For me, it's easy to keep. I mean, Jackson. Now, the thing about Jackson is I love. Obviously, he's great with the ball at his feet. Link up play, so and so on his pressing, but a lot of his chances are self-created chances. I saw before Hasselbank on Owen Mikel's podcast. saying that he prefers Jackson over Osimhen because Jackson can create chances himself, whereas if you bring another striker in, are they able to make those same chances Jackson creates? So, and again, if Jackson's able to improve, obviously it's going to be a third season in the Premier League. He scored 24 non-penalty goals, which is pretty impressive considering how quickly he elevated in the football world. And obviously with the lap being there, there's going to be more competition. And I feel like if Jackson improves the finishing, even by a minor, just little by little, it'll be a big improvement. You know, I feel like he could push off for the 15 goals, potentially 20 goals in this season, 25. There's potential there. I don't feel like we should sell Jackson. Obviously, the red cards and the red card situation against Flamengo and Newcastle. But yeah, I feel like just the reaction. I feel like if you're saying to sell him because of that I feel like that's a bit reactionary. And yeah, I trust in Jackson. Another player I trust in, Noni Madueke. I feel like he is our best winger. Now, I know Pedro Neto has been good this Club World Cup, but again, the thing about Madueke as well, obviously similar to Jackson, how the fan base already has set their opinion on him. Obviously, him being linked to Arsenal, but the thing about Madueke over Neto is, with Neto's goals that we've seen in the Club World Cup, they've been in transition, open space, where you just run into open space. Obviously, those well to finish those chances, but which were in the Premier League, we're not likely to see high lines or situations where the teams are that open. And when you got your winger play 1-on-1 against a fullback, Neto really struggles to beat his fullback 1-on-1, whereas Noni now he's able to be consistent, get into that penalty box and create danger. Also, Noni is much more better at creating a shot, creating actions, whether he's cutting on our left foot. Much more able to get a shot away more effectively than a Pedro now. And yeah, I'll keep Madueke. I do feel like he will improve if whether you sell him or not. I do feel like he's got to break up whether he's at Chelsea or not. I don't want to sell it to Arsenal if he's going to be sold. Mudryk, he's already gone technically. It's a shame, but yeah, what can we do? Also, I do feel bad how his number 10 was taken away for Cole Palmer, but yeah, it's a shame. Pedro Neto, hopefully Pedro Neto does have an explosion. He's been playing so well this Club World Cup, but again, do I feel like this is it a powerful patch or is it like a explosion season? Who knows? We have to see in the Premier League, but Neto's an easy keep. It's his second season at Chelsea now, so hopefully he does have an improvement in terms of output. But if you ask me, I don't feel like he'll have a massive improvement considering his style of play. Who knows? Maybe. But yeah, you can't deny how good he is off the ball. And I feel like Maresca plays him on the right over Madueke and moves Madueke to the left because obviously Reece James is on that side and how hard Neto works off the ball just almost protects Reece James a little bit. So yeah. Kenji Pius, yeah, he's already confirmed to go loan on Strasbourg, and hopefully we see how he does there playing in the Conference League. Could be potentially in Europa League considering that Lyon got relegated, so even a better platform to showcase your ability. And yeah, it's good to see it's good. We'll see how Pius does. Now Raheem Sterling, yeah, that's easy. So I mean, Arsenal, although he didn't get minutes at Arsenal, and his wages are too high. I mean, for a guy who's not gonna play. So yeah, thank you for watching the tier list. Make sure to like and subscribe. Yeah, and check out the channel for more Chelsea related videos. I do match reviews. Released a couple of videos on the Club World Cup. And yeah, peace.